If you haven't already seen it, this week we take a look at Elysium.
Little known fact, the word ELYSIUM comes from the Greek word for regional distribution center.
Oh, I didn't know that. You learn something new every day.
Elysium takes us 150 years into the future, where the poor and sick live on Earth, and the rich and powerful live on the ship from Wall-E.
And Matt Damon is a chrome-domed, earthbound ex-con who may just be the only hope of bringing equality to both of these worlds.
Elysium comes to us from the mind of Neil Blomkamp, the man who gave us District 9, a movie that I very much enjoyed. And stylistically and cinematographically, these two are very similar. Ships, space stations, even the slums of LA, there's a lot of attention to detail, and I love that.
I agree, this movie looks fantastic and it does a great job of blending CGI with live action footage. Now, it's really easy for a lot of big budget sci-fi movies to go overboard in the computer generated special effects department, but this movie is surprisingly and refreshingly restrained and uses it only when necessary. Kind of like we do on this show.
But this movie does shoot itself in the foot by having a very heavy-handed political message. Now, I don't mind politics in my entertainment. Case in point, The West Wing. But this one is more of a sci-fi, socialistic Aesop's fable. The rich in particular are so cartoonishly evil that it's hard to take them seriously as villains.
And that brings us to Jodie Foster. Now, don't get me wrong, she is a terrific actress, but you wouldn't know it by watching her performance in this movie. Now, with her stiff delivery and odd accent, she carries about as much emotional impact as Siri.
I don't know what that means.
I said she carries about as much emotional impact as Siri.
I didn't quite get that.
As Siri!
Cannibal coconuts.
That's not what I said, but hey, sounds good to me.
This is a movie I probably won't be watching again. I say skip it. This is nothing more than a treatise on immigration law, healthcare reform, and distribution of wealth wrapped up in a pretty sci-fi package. There's so much politics, they forgot to include a story. Makes me feel like I just watched The Green Zone 2, and now we're in space.
Thanks a lot.
I say skip it. Now, whether or not you agree with the movie's politics, its message does get in the way of a good script. The story feels rushed and messy, and the characters feel underdeveloped and hollow. You're rooting for Matt Damon because you like Matt Damon the actor, not because you especially care about the character that he's playing. Now, I really do hate to say this about one of the few big-budget blockbusters this year that isn't another remake, reboot, sequel, prequel, or adaptation of a subpar piece of young adult fiction. Ugh, what a mistake that was.
Remember, never abuse your parole officer robot, and catch our reviews each week on Facebook, Twitter, and WJTV.com.
Next time on If You Haven't Already Seen It.
Hello? Uh-oh, Spaghetti-O.
Who was that?
That was the UN. The president's been kidnapped by Belgian terrorists, and they refuse to let him go unless they get a review of Lee Daniels the Butler. Or Kick-Ass 2, whichever one we see this week.
Brett, it's time to dispose of this trash in the specified receptacle located conveniently outside your theater.